How you doing, everyone? It's Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch, back with another review. Today a huge game, Doom. We went out, we bought the retail copy. As you can see, it comes with really cool box art on that one, so I wanted to add that one to my collection. This of course was published by Bethesda and it was ported by Panic Button. Main developer was ID Software. So without further ado, let's get straight into the Doom review. You are a Marine who has been set loose to take down the hordes of demons released by the Union Aerospace Corporation, based in the future set colonization of Mars. With the words "rip and tear" ringing in your ears, you set off on a fast-paced, brutal adventure which hardly ever lets up. You are the man to put the stop to these demons by any means necessary. Music on the Switch is of course as good as it was on the PS4, Xbox One and PC versions of the game. The music made by Mike Gordon is one of the best soundtracks to have graced the game. It is the perfect accompaniment to the action. I would go as far as to say it has a life all of its own, and I could not imagine the world of Doom without this pulsating rhythm of this absolute masterpiece. Sound effects are just as good, to the rip-roaring sound of your chainsaw cutting into the flesh of demons and tearing them in half, to a well-placed shot to the head. I did encounter some problems every so often with the game, and these were prevalent in glory kills where an auto animation takes over. During these kills I experienced all manner of weird stuff going on. Sometimes the volume would drop, to others the sound would disappear altogether. Very odd indeed. I must stress, while it was noticeable, it wasn't something that was a deal breaker by any means, but certainly something to be aware of, and I would expect a patch in the future to sort this out. The visuals here of the levels, landscapes are incredible, with cool stuff always going on in the background. Demons look, well, scary, and animations are for the most part very fluid. The benefit, I guess, of not having had the game provided to us early was being able to see and hear everything that people were not happy with or what people were comparing. One of the obvious comparisons we're going to make, in its human nature, is against the PS4, PC and Xbox One versions of Doom. To do this, however, in my opinion, is just a little bit of a waste of time. Now, this game runs on the Switch at 30 frames per second locked, and if you're one of those people who likes to play games on huge TVs at 60 frames per second, then this isn't going to be for you. If you're lucky enough to have one of the other consoles or a decent spec'd PC, then I'll say this to you now: buy the game on one of those systems, because the game is smoother and the visual fidelity is better. Of that there's no argument here from me, and to say otherwise would be a complete fabrication. The game runs at 720p in both docked mode and in handheld, so it's pretty noticeable playing on a larger screen that everything is a little bit more muddy, but in handheld it looks great for sure. I would also say that if you've never had the pleasure of Doom on another system and this is your first time, then even better, as you're not going to notice those differences so much. In any case, it's like comparing apples and oranges in my opinion. You just cannot compare the systems in that way, as the majority of people will buy this version to have the option of portability, and I cannot stress that enough. The game on this system serves a completely different purpose. At the weekend I went out with my channel partner James and some family. You can't take any of the other consoles on the move, and playing it in the car on the way to the shops, I can tell you now that on the smaller screen I didn't give a monkeys about the graphical fidelity or frame rates, because it runs fantastically well. Playing the game in the lift on the way to do the weekly shop perhaps How about walking around the shops with the missus, getting bored out of your skull and busting out the Switch while looking at food? Does graphical fidelity come into it then? What about when your mate is taking an inordinate amount of time looking for birthday cards? Could you not just play Doom for 5 minutes? Get one of those runes perhaps? Now I know people are going to say this is completely unsociable, but I'm making my point here. How about at a family party meal and busting out Doom to show off to your friends? Last but not least, when nature calls. Well, you know. My point is, playing Doom on the move is a marvel. The Switch, a magical box of tricks, where I asked myself, how did Panic Button do such an incredible job of porting this thing over? How do I now have the flexibility to play Doom on trains, planes and automobiles? The previous two I was unable to provide footage of, as I'm not a big fan of public transport, so sorry for that, guys. And look, yeah, there were times where frame rates went missing and there was a bit of slowdown when hordes of demons wanted to do nothing better than rip me to pieces, but this was absolutely forgivable to have this game portable, and that's the question here. Are you willing to forgo a little bit of performance and graphical fidelity for portability? Are you willing to pay triple the price for that? Only you can answer that question. In terms of gameplay, I played Doom and completed it back in 2016, and here on the Switch, it's as fun as ever. In fact, I had forgotten just how fun it was, which is the beauty of the Switch at the moment. It's bringing older games to the system that many may have stopped playing, only to be re-infused to play these games again. For first timers, it's brilliant, as you may have missed or not had the opportunity to play some of these brilliant titles, so now it gives you a reason to play them. It's as fast and as frantic as ever. If you're a first timer, then this is classic Doom. There are no cover mechanics here. This is just you with an arsenal of weapons, your suit, which is all upgradable by the way. It's then up to you to deal as much damage as possible and take down every demon you come across. Most of the normal moves which you are used to are here: crouch, jump, grab to higher platforms and move quickly while dodging demons, laser beams, fireballs and all other sorts of menaces. The beauty for me is the plethora of different demons and the AI you come across. You have your demons which are just cannon fodder, there to toy with, to practice. Shoot demons enough and they turn orange and you can go in for a special melee attack where all you will do is all sorts of beautiful kills, from smacking demon skulls against the wall or crushing them and ripping their arms off and punching their heads in. The fun you can have with the chainsaw is just pure smile inducing, and I'm not sure whether that makes me a very good person or not, but then I remind myself this is just a game. In terms of the control options available, I definitely preferred playing with the Pro controller. Second best option is of course in portable mode. I didn't really enjoy playing the game with one Joy-Con in each hand, it just wasn't for me. What's really fantastic is the variation of demons. You get ones which jump all over the place and are hard to aim at, and you will have all sorts of magical fire attacks at you, to ones which fly and summon more demons. You can get your tanks, which are a right pain to kill. Demons with shields where you'll have to find a way to get behind them to kill them. There's all sorts here, and the AI is going to keep you on your toes. The main campaign here is around 8 to 10 hours long, over 13 chapters, and of course you can play this on differing difficulty levels. Hurt Me Plenty was enough for me, but no doubt I will return again to try more difficulty levels. You also have an arcade mode here where you can rip and tear through every map with a fully upgraded Doomslayer, customise your gear, guns and suit before each run to see what combinations will give you the edge. You can then upload the score to the leaderboard for that competition between your friends. You can upgrade your suit by looting dead bodies of Predator tokens and other places too, but I'm not going to spoil that here. Each level has a number of objectives which are pretty simple, and you'll have to stop the demon portals by ripping out what I can only describe as hearts within these hell gates. You have your health bar and armor bar which you need to keep topped up if you're to survive this carnage. There are lots of secrets too, and the game will let you know how many you missed at the end of each level. Runes will require you to complete mini games like shoot 30 barrels in 10 seconds, with each barrel giving you an extra 2 seconds, or killing 15 demons within 10 seconds. All these need to be found as well, and if a rune is equipped it will give you various upgrades. A couple of the first you will come across is Dazed and Confused, and Vacuum, one giving you the ability to make demons remain in a staggered state for longer, or the latter, which will allow your character the ability to absorb dropped items over a longer range, which is quite useful when equipped and rushing through the levels. Later you'll come across Rich Get Richer, which I won't spoil as what that does. You can also mod and upgrade your weapons, and these are earned through your performance during combat, which you can earn up to 5 per level. The more you upgrade a certain weapon, the more expensive it becomes to upgrade the next time round. In terms of mods, which are secondary upgrades to your weapons, they can be done when floating bots are found around the levels. There is also a multiplayer mode here with death matches which you can play, and as you level up Halo style, you'll unlock further goodies as well as the ability to play as certain demons, which is really cool. It works well actually, and the lobby is all very good, and you can choose to play with friends, which is welcome for sure. Maps are nice and small, which allows for good contact instead of being too spread out. Multiplayer though will require an extra 9 GB of space on your Switch apart from the main cartridge, so take this into consideration. I purchased this game from Amazon, which you can get now for £38 with Prime or £40 without. I'll link that below, as well as the dollar equivalent prices. If you compare to other consoles, as the game is a year old, you can pick up this game for between £10 and £15, which is really cheap. So is the extra money worth it to you for this game to be able to play portably? Well, the charts are already showing that people are willing to buy this in digital format, where the game is even more expensive on the Nintendo eShop at £49.99. And the game is already quite high up in the charts, so many people think the game is worth it to them, that's for sure. Now, I bought it not just for the review, but for my collection. If I'm at home, it's super convenient for the family to watch TV, and for me to play a bit on the sofa in portable mode. I love playing this in portable mode, so for me it's worth the money. It's missing SnapMap, the level editor, but it was not something I ever used on other consoles. If this is something you wanted, then be aware it's not here. So on to my verdict. Doom was brilliant back in 2016 with its fast-paced action accompanied with an incredible soundtrack and beautifully created and varied levels. The AI and vast array of demons was also really impressive. When you first load up Doom on the Switch and take it on the move, it's very difficult not to raise a smile and be impressed. Yes, there are of course compromises and there are some technical issues, but they didn't detract too much from the overall experience. This system is of course not as powerful as the others, but then no other system gives you this incredible amount of flexibility and portability. Is Doom on Switch worth it? It depends on your needs and current systems you own and whether you have the game already or not. If you have no requirement at all for portability and have one of the other systems, then buy it on one of those. If however the Switch is the only system you own, or even if it's not but you want portability, then Doom is a must buy as long as you're old enough to play it, of course. Overall for me then, a superb 8 out of 10. My name is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch. I really hope you enjoyed this review, and if you do, please hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd really appreciate that. Leave me a comment below, let me know whether you're going to pick up Doom or not and what you think of the game overall. And last but not least, if you're a new watcher here, then why not consider subscribing for lots of other reviews like this one. And for all of you guys that continue to support our channel, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. You know what I'm going to say, guys, if you've known me for long enough. I'll see you on the next one.